Greetings. This is Justin Allen, the Elite Nurse Practitioner. Welcome to the Elite Nurse Practitioner Show, podcast dedicated to nurse practitioner entrepreneurism and achieving financial freedom, where I talk directly with nurse practitioners who need help. Listen up, our market is saturated. Jobs can be scarce. We are underpaid. We are undervalued. We are taken advantage of by the sharks within the healthcare system, and frankly, screw that. Sick of it, and it's time for a change. And listen, I'm here to help make that happen. We are powerful. We can forge a path where we are in control of our career and ultimately our financial and personal well-being. You do not need to submit to healthcare administrators and your doctor overlords. You do not have to take the measly salary. You do not have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. There is a different way, and I'm here to show you that path. This podcast is raw and unfiltered. I have not talked to the nurse practitioners in this podcast prior to the call outside of an email exchange to schedule the episode. What you're about to listen to is a consultation session between a nurse practitioner and myself. It is real, it is unscripted, it is unplanned, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Anything and everything can happen during our conversation. The nurse practitioners in these episodes are struggling with an issue in their professional or financial life, and they have reached out to me for help. My goal is to help the nurse practitioner with actionable advice that will enhance and improve their professional, business, and financial life. My other goal is to hopefully help my nurse practitioner sisters and brothers build a more productive, powerful, and free life. So I hope the content and information within these podcast episodes does just that. All right, onto the episode. Hello, everyone. Today we'll be talking to Misty, who is an adult nurse practitioner. Currently, she works part-time at a wound care clinic, but she works at her own practice on a more full-time basis. Her practice focuses on aesthetics, hormone replacement therapy, weight loss, and IV hydration. She's needing assistance with dealing with the growing pains of a successful practice and how to navigate opening a second location. Hey, Misty, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for hopping on here. So it sounds like you got a successful practice that's grown pretty quick, and you're working part-time. So tell me a little bit, kind of just where you're at, and how long you've been a nurse practitioner for, and what sorts of things you've been doing.
Sure. I've been an actual registered nurse for 24 years, and I've been a nurse practitioner for 8 of those. I started in urgent care, went to family medicine for about 5 years, and then just transitioned over and opened the wound clinic for a local hospital. And I've been running the wound clinic 2 days a week. But in the meantime, since 2021, adding on my separate business, and it's just continued to grow. So I've just reached the point, like you said, growing pains, and I need to know when is a good time or when I need to leave that part-time gig.
Okay, well, first off, let's just go straight into the numbers here. Profit-wise, what are you bringing in a month at this practice?
I'm grossing about 60 to 65,000 a month.
Okay, then how much are you netting from that?
About 45% of that.
Okay, so right on line with most practices that are cash-based wellness service practices. Like, for the most part, 40 to 50% margin is about what the average is, what it should be if you're doing things right? So you're making a lot of money, basically.
Yes.
Yes. You're doing very well for yourself, okay?
I am.
So you're making over $300,000 a year with your practice. That's what you're netting. You make more than probably the majority of, a large percentage of doctors, okay? You're making a lot more money than most lawyers do. So, like, you're doing pretty good. Why the hell do you need that wound care job?
I know. So I did hang on to that for the longest time because what I did was paid off any and everything. So our house is paid off, my car is paid off, school loan.
Applause.
Yes.
Very
Thank
well
you.
done.
So that's what I used that money for.
Okay.
Now that that's all taken care of, it's that, that security blanket, like cutting the cord. That's your income that's coming in. But
yeah,
I'm finding that I'm starting to despise it.
I was literally getting ready to say that. You just end up you just despise, you don't want to go anymore. You're like, why am I bothering with this?
It's exactly how I feel.
Sucks, right? Yeah, that's exactly how I felt towards the end of my urgent care career too. Like, I didn't give two shits about that job anymore.
I just didn't care. My
Mhm.
notes were god awful. I was like, I'm done
Mhm.
charting. I don't care.
Mhm.
I'm treating the patient. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, I got sick of it. You know, like the last day
Mhm.
I was there, I left 3 hours early. I was like, I'm done. I just
Yeah,
left.
that's it.
Close the
I'm out of
doors. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, though, yeah, you're gonna end up despising it, which could potentially result in maybe subpar patient care. So it's a liability. Okay. You might not think
Mhm.
it is, but it could
Mhm.
be because you don't want to
Mhm.
be there anymore. Right.
Mhm.
So it
Yeah.
could cloud. So it could cloud your judgment. Okay. So think about it as a liability. All right. And second, your business at this point is, over $750,000 a year in gross income, and you have no debt. You have a paid off house. Like, what's the risk? Like, what's more secure at this point? Like, you and your business is going to be so much more secure than that job could ever provide you.
Yes. Yeah. And that's where I need so what I was gonna do is go down to 1 day. I know I'm like that guilty provider because I'm the one that opened the clinic when it opened in 2019. So I was like, I'm gonna go down to 1 day. That'll leave me a full day to do business stuff. But
Just leave.
it's yeah, I know. I know. I just needed
Just,
somebody to tell me, like, it's
yeah.
time to go.
Hey, listen, sometimes you just have to hear someone else say something to you. You just have to hear another voice. Like I was the same way about like $10,000 of just lingering student loan debt. And like my financial advisor, we're going through all the numbers and everything. I had like over $100,000 in the bank. He's like, pay that shit off. I'm like, well, I don't know if I should. He's like, pay it off. Clearly, pay it off right now. Like he made me on Zoom. He was watching my screen. Go in there and pay it off.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
yeah.
Yes,
So,
that's
like,
good.
listen, I'm going to shake your head right now through the screen. Quit that job. You don't need it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Like, you don't need it unless you are passionate about it and it's something that you truly care about and that sort of thing. Stay. But otherwise, just leave. You don't need it.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the patients. I see them every week. They're going to be fine without me. They'll eventually heal and move on.
They'll
So,
be fine. And then 6 months
mhm.
from now, no one will know you even worked there. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. That's the
Yeah.
crazy part. Yeah.
Right. Like you're not that important at the end of the day. You're just not, you know. Um, yeah, I hate to say that, but let's just be
I
real,
know.
you know.
It is. It is real.
Yeah. So you will be fine. I mean, come on, you are debt free. Like you have a paid off house. Does that house like let me just ask you, because
Mhm.
I've talked to some other people too who have paid off houses. I have a paid off house. Like
Mhm.
the amount of anxiety and stress in your life and the amount of money that you spend now is just like night and day difference with a paid off house, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. It's insane. I mean, I'm still very frugal, so but just the fact that you don't have that hanging over your head and it's I you can't speak to it unless you actually experience it. So,
Correct. It just makes life
yeah.
so much easier, does it not?
Mhm. Oh, so much easier. Yeah,
Right. Like,
100%.
yeah. Okay, well, anyways, though. So you are doing very, very well. You've been open for how long?
2021 is when
2020.
when I officially opened. I started with just aesthetics, and I was working in family medicine ordering Wegovy and, Mounjaro, and then obviously couldn't get it, and insurance wouldn't pay for it, and I that's why I brought it to my aesthetics practice, compounded semaglutide because of the fact that, I could put my family practice patients on it. So then they just started, seeing me there. And then I had more people it just blew up, honestly.
Yeah. This is a story I keep hearing time and time again. Like, if you're not offering weight loss, you're a fool. Like, it's
Yeah. Yes.
yeah, it's ridiculous how high demand it is right now. Um,
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been open for a few years then, and well done. I mean, you're doing pretty good here. So
Yeah.
yeah. So and you did all this working full time and part time. So pat yourself on the back. You paid off your debt. So you are in a very, very good position here. How old are you?
I'm 48.
48 years old. Okay. So
Hmm.
well done. Like you're in a good position to really, really grow your wealth very fast. You know,
Yeah.
you're
Yes.
48. Let's just say, you want to be said and done by 53, 55 or whatever, right? So
That's about right. Yeah.
that's what you're hoping for. Okay, so you are definitely on track for that. So let's just figure out a way to maximize your your chances of success. So with your business right now, how many employees do you have?
I have 3 employees. One is I have well, which is my daughter. She's my office manager. So she does, which, oh my gosh, that's been a lifesaver. Answering all the phones, helping people schedule that can't figure it out online. And she does all my ordering. She does cleaning in the office. So she takes care of all that busy stuff, which is amazing. That was huge bringing that on because I was doing all that myself. And then I have an RN that is an employee that sees follow up weight loss. And then she does IV hydration as well. And then she actually is certified in aesthetics as well. And then I have my husband who is basically my CFO. Like he keeps the books down to the penny. That's his wheelhouse, and he's great for that. So, and then myself, and that's it. I do have a 1099 nurse practitioner that actually I precepted in family medicine, and then when he graduated, I brought him on board, and now he sees my new weight loss consults and TRT consults.
Okay, so you are leveraging the work of others quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And you're still hitting 45% margin. So that's really, really good. Um, so what is it that you do then? Are you just basically seeing patients for the most part in terms of working in your business?
Yes, so I see new consults as well because that 1099 is only here 2 days, is only at my office 2 days a week on Tuesday, Thursday. And then I see them Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And then I see aesthetics or follow-ups Tuesday, Thursday evenings after I leave wound care. I go in there and see people,
Okay.
um, just for different things.
Okay. Okay. So then what are you spending a lot of your time on with this business that's just driving you crazy?
So I would say, honestly, seeing people and then the behind the scene kind of little stuff. So the emails that people send, or I'll have patients, they still have my cell phone number. So they'll text
Ugh.
me questions. I know they'll text me questions and stuff. I've gotten better at kind of moving those towards my daughter. Like I'll forward voicemails or forward emails to her to have her answer. Because it's just time consuming, or people will want to change their appointment, right? So at 7 o'clock at night, they'll text and say, "Can I move my appointment to
Right.
whatever?" That
Call,
kind of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Call the office number, talk to the receptionist. It's 7 o'clock at night. I'm your provider. I'm not your
Yes. Yes.
right.
So I need to definitely get that changed because it's
Yeah. Uh,
constant.
yeah. You got to set some boundaries and don't be
Mhm.
scared of feeling like you're stepping on toes or anything like that with your patients when you do this. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
because I started doing that with, with patients, customers, and honestly, they're like, okay, like they're just like, okay, like they're just, it's
Yeah.
not that big of a deal. Please call the office. We don't do that anymore. I don't have time. I'm sorry. Like they're gonna understand. I don't think anyone's gonna be real pissed off about it. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, so set boundaries for sure. I think that's number one. Okay, so then what else are you spending a lot of time doing?
So the other things that I've been kind of, kicking around, like the second location idea. I do have my license in, 3 different states. So I looked through your recommended resources for a collaborator I'm in Ohio, so outside of Ohio. And there you can't just get a collaborator that has a multi-state license. So you're looking at paying a collaborator monthly for each state. To me, I'm like, that's a waste. So unless I would obviously do that in a state that is independent, I don't need one.
Right.
But telemedicine, adding that, and then second location, like another state, considering it, honing it down to one state and finding a collaborator in that second state, I guess.
So you're spending just a lot of time thinking about these things and trying to figure it out.
Hmm. if I should do it. I'm so, I'm so busy now. I would still need to bring somebody else on to help with
Right.
to offload
So,
that.
okay. So then, I think step number one here, uh, well, I guess overall, how many hours a week do you spend on your business, your practice, seeing patients and then doing all this, background stuff?
Ooh. Let's see. So
Just
10, 30. I'd probably say about doing the side stuff too. I'm probably doing a good 40, 50 hours.
40, 50
Uh,
hours. That's with the job and the business.
yes. Yeah.
Okay. So you leave that job and you just freed yourself up, what, 16 hours?
I wasn't even counting the wound care job. That's just what I
Uh,
spent on my
Oh,
business
okay,
and
okay, 40. Okay, I
education.
got you. I got you.
So
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Well, imagine still if you let the wound care, how much more time you'd have just for relaxation time and unwinding.
right.
Yeah. When you leave that job, it is going to give you so much more time and energy. It's seriously, it's gonna be Misty version 2. You're not gonna regret it.
Yeah, and I think you're right, 100%. I think my biggest problem is that job because I don't have a day where I can sit down and, we all do this. We make post notes or make lists of stuff we need to do and don't forget to do that. But at the end of the day, you're doing it at night because you don't have a minute to breathe. So
Right.
I do think you're 100% right. If I
Well,
get rid of
yeah.
that job.
Just get rid of that. Think about it. If you just said, okay, that those 2 days, I'll use one day for administrative work, whatever, stuff that I need to do for my business, and then the other day, I'm going to go to the lake.
Yes. My
Like, you know what I
gosh.
mean? Like how much like it's going to re-energize your soul. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, yeah, so once you do that, I think that you'll be able to spend a lot more focused time and energy on your business, which will probably end up freeing up more time in your business. Okay.
Yeah.
Because right
Yes.
now you're so spread thin that it's probably very, very hard to focus and just get some shit done, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I think a lot of this is just complete, just straight up fatigue, probably. Okay.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just probably some of this is just fatigue, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, so I think what you need to do here is that you need to make a list of what it is that you are doing in your business, okay? And then you need to
Mhm.
put some hours associated with that task, okay? So for example, patient care, seeing patients, how many hours a week is that? About 15
Okay,
hours,
that I'm
20 hours?
actually doing right now, I'm doing, currently probably a good seeing patients, 30 hours.
30 hours a week. Okay. So you're spending more time seeing patients than anything else, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So put that on the list. All right.
Okay.
Second thing, what else is it? Phone calls, emails, financial, counting, whatever it is, list out everything that it is that you do,
Mhm.
put the hours associated with it, and then start trimming the fat. Okay. What's
Okay.
something that's taking 2 or 3 hours here or there from you? You know what I mean? Okay. Can I
Right.
outsource that to someone else for a hell of a lot cheaper than my time? You know, can I
Yes.
give that job task to someone else that's already there that could probably be working maybe a little bit harder for how much I'm paying them? You know, and then your biggest time sink is patient care, right? You said
Yes.
that you would like to maybe start scaling that down a little bit. So
Mhm.
if you hire another nurse practitioner to come in, or one of the nurse practitioners that you have working for you, you have them come in and start offloading some of your established patients with them, or new patients go to them. Okay. You'll start
Mhm.
freeing up some more of your time. What I did at my men's health clinic was is that I told the guys up front, I was like, listen, I don't want any more new patients. I got my patient census, and that's what I'm going to stick with. And they were like, okay. Every other new patient was coming in was going in the other nurse practitioners that I hired. So they started building up
Yeah.
their own censuses. I only had my follow-ups now, and that started trimming so much of my time. It started trimming off so much. It really opened up my schedule. You know what I mean? It really opened up my
Mhm.
free time. Okay. So you
Mhm.
could start there too. And then you got to think about the numbers associated with that, right? So
Mhm.
how much is it going to cost me to bring in another nurse practitioner? Let's say if everything is equal here in terms of just everything staying stagnant. Let's say you get no more new patients, income stays exactly where it's at, which probably won't happen. It's going to continue to grow, right?
Mhm.
But
Right.
it just stays stagnant. Let's just say it stays at $60,000 a month. You offload half of your clinic day to another nurse practitioner. So you give someone else 15 hours worth of work. You're paying them on average $100 an hour. That's
Mm-hmm.
$1,500. That's $6,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
How much does that hit your bottom line?
Right.
$6,000.
Right.
Your margin
Minimal.
goes what from 45% down to like
Mm-hmm.
35%, 38%, 40%. You know what I mean? But
Yes. Yeah.
you just freed up 15 hours. How much is that worth to you?
Yeah. It's worth that. That's for sure.
It's
Yeah.
worth that. Right.
So I
And
brought on that nurse practitioner and he started seeing patients, and we've got so many more new patients because of that. Because with me, we were booked out, 3, 4 weeks. People
yes,
don't want to wait. People do not want to wait. When they want to lose weight, they want to get in right away. So,
yes, exactly. That's what I'm like when you hire someone else, start offsetting work to them, you're going to end up seeing your practice growing so much faster because exactly what you said. Patients, they, people have an attention span of one day. They want to get their appointment that week. They're not going to wait 3 or 4 weeks.
right.
So they're
100.
just going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, they do not. They will not wait.
They will
So
not wait. They
I
go somewhere else.
honestly, weight loss, I already have like 400 weight loss patients. I
Jeez.
mean,
Okay.
it's a lot.
So you stay there and start putting new patients, start putting all new patients on this other nurse practitioner, fill up their schedule, and hire another nurse practitioner. Rinse and repeat.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Like you do
yeah.
that, you will start seeing your time open up a lot and you will see the income coming into your practice go up and you will see those margins while they will go down somewhat, they will creep back up and you'll start making more money for less work, less time. Okay.
Let me ask you this. So my TRT, like I said, I just started that. I think it was November when we started trying to advertise, which is difficult because you can't, if you do social media, it won't let you post anything about TRT. I did a radio ad. That was a waste and a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I don't even really advertise anymore. I do have a Google ad out there, but we have so many good reviews that when people Google weight loss, we come right up.
Right. So
Like
you
we're
don't
the
have to, yeah, you don't got to pay for Google ad then.
But I do have it out there still. I probably shouldn't because even the local weight loss clinic that can't do compounding, they send their patients over to our clinic. So we have great connections within the area as well. So that's my question to you. So that Google ad I have out there, it's just basically, says our services, what we do. Should I or could I switch that? I do have one for TRT. Is there a way to, I guess, feed off of that ad to bring the TRT more?
Yeah, you just get in there and edit it, just add TRT to it and add the keyword to it.
Yeah. So do I need to add that? I guess that's my question. Do I need to add that into the actual ad itself? Because it's
You
not in my name. I mean,
right.
I have a separate DBA that I've registered with the state for just men's health that I could use.
I mean, can you? Yes. You know,
Uh-huh.
will it work? Who knows? Just try it and
Yeah.
see. Like that's just one of those things. I think that if you create a separate ad under the DBA, probably would do better.
Okay, that was it. That was
Okay.
my question, a
Yeah.
separate ad. Okay.
Yeah. I think it would do better. And plus, it gives you some different things to track, different metrics. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And you feel like Google is good about TRT ads? You don't have any issues?
Nah,
I know it's not
yeah.
doing that today.
Yeah, you can't. If you put testosterone in it, they're probably not going to approve it. So, TRT, sometimes they will. Sometimes you got to be a little clever with it. You got to put like T-R-T. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Men's health clinic now open, offering hormone replacement therapy. If you just avoid the word, you can still get around it. Just be a little clever.
Okay. And I do have a road front office, so I have a sign in the yard too that
Well,
says,
yeah, just add men's health testosterone replacement therapy onto that too if you wanted to. But this is the thing, all right, and I need you to really understand this and make sure that you take it to heart is that capitalize and go all out on what's working instead of trying to do something else. Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
You're making a shit ton of money off of weight loss.
I am.
Capitalize on that. And I'm talking, burn it out. Like, just, like double down on that. That's where you're making your money. Then
Hmm.
double down on that versus putting your time and energy into some other things. Like, I'm not saying don't do men's health,
Hmm.
do it by all means, do it. But it shouldn't be the sole focus. It shouldn't be something that you spend a tremendous amount of time on. And honestly, what you should be doing is hormone replacement therapy for men and women should be a adjunct complementary service to the weight loss. Like, you need to
Right.
sell the current patients on that stuff. Like, when they
Yeah.
lose weight, I mean, why are they going to keep coming back to you? So you need to be checking hormones with every single patient's labs. And then, if let's just say a guy loses 80 pounds and he's down back to 190, 200 pounds, at a decent weight, and his testosterone levels are still low, then, you could potentially have a patient there for a long time, putting them on testosterone.
Yeah. Yes, that's what we're doing now. So
Okay,
we
good.
are putting that word in the men's ears, and I have your course for the women, or for the, yeah, women's hormone replacement and the pellets. But I just haven't had time to incorporate that in as well. So it all comes back to that other job.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
this is the issue here.
Yes, I do. Yeah. But no, you're 100% right. So that is my plan, is to bring in women's, because they ask for it. And right now I send them to someone that I've used previously for years. So it could be mine. Like, that could be my business
Oh
instead.
my God. Yeah, it
Yeah.
could. I mean, how much could you
Mhm.
increase your revenue by that? By just keeping that in-house versus sending it off to someone else. You could be
I know.
doing that.
Yeah. You're 100% right.
And
Yeah.
you better believe that other person, they could be selling them on weight loss too. And now you just lost the patient.
Yeah. I could. You're right. I could. Yeah.
Right. Don't
Mhm.
sit there and build up someone else's business. Screw that.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm putting that down.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
All right. I hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick break to thank everyone listening and also give a big thank you to all of my social media followers and email subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our email list at www.elitenp.com and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email subscribers will receive updates on new weekly podcast episodes, multiple weekly articles we publish, new courses, and everything else related to helping you succeed. Remember, all elite nurse practitioner courses are designed to help you build a niche practice, increase your financial strength, and to break free from the rat race. If I can break free and the other countless nurse practitioners can break free, then so can you. Additionally, please share this podcast with your other nurse practitioner sisters and brothers out there. The more NPs that venture out on their own, the stronger our profession will become. Now, let's get back to the episode.
I did just now with weight loss, I was only doing the GLP ones, semaglutide, tirzepatide, Contrave, the injections. I did recently start adding in, Adipex, phentermine for people too. So that was new. A lot of people still ask for that, but it is great with some semaglutide, because I found that it does keep the weight off, as opposed to when you go off of it, adding
100%. Yep.
back on. Um, so that's big, adding that in. And then here's my question for you. Do you think for right now, would it be safe to say I really hone in on bringing in the women's hormones, wait on adding a second location until I have that up and running? And
So before you open up a second location, you really should have your services and your procedures basically like set in stone before you open that second location, right?
okay.
So work out the kinks at your location that you're in before you have a satellite location where you have other people working for you, and the problems still might exist, right? So
Mhm.
if I was you, yeah, your men's and your women's hormone replacement therapy, this complimentary service, get it dialed in. Now, that's still going to take you a couple months. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
get it all dialed in. Where are you ordering this stuff from? What are you going to be offering? What's the pricing, et cetera? How do you sell it to current patients? How do you sell it to new patients? That sort of a thing. So yeah, give it 2 or 3 months and figure that out first, see how it goes, and then probably start focusing on that second business. And there's no way in hell you're going to open up that second location while you're still working.
No, and I know, no. I can't even add on women's hormone replacement while I'm working.
Right, exactly. You're so thinned out right now, So,
Mhm.
uh, so yeah, so kind of keep that in mind.
Okay. Next question, just basic question. For a 1099 worker, liability. So they have their own malpractice insurance. So um, when I'm listed in their insurance, their own, malpractice, my address. How I've listened to your last podcast. How specific does that need to be? Like, does it need to be just for my location? Because he's not working anywhere else right now, but I just want to make sure that legally he is covered. It does state on his DEA and it does state in his malpractice that it's at my office. So it is my business address and everything in that. Is that enough or?
Well, most professional policies will, basically cover you for wherever you're working in the state.
Mhm.
Yeah, as far as I know, unless it's strictly written into the policy that you're only covered at this location, most professional policies, they should follow you around
Okay. But from my standpoint, as long as he has it,
as long as he
and
has it.
I have a copy of it, I do. And then that's all I need. I don't need anything else in writing saying while you're working at M Aesthetics, blah blah blah, you are you know what I mean? I don't need anything extra as long as he's covered and I
As
have a
long
copy
as
of the policy.
Correct. As long as he's covered with the services he's offering and your LLC is named as a covered entity, then yes, you should be fine.
Okay. I just wanted to clear that up too.
Yeah.
Next question. So, business vehicle. It's eventually I will need to purchase a car. I've heard back and forth between accountants. One, I myself buy it, then my business leases it from me, or two, always lease it and run it through the business. Thoughts on that?
I wouldn't want a liability titled in your business's name, especially a business that's pretty successful.
Uh-huh.
One that might have some cash reserves and that sort of a thing. Because if you get
Mhm.
into a car wreck, if the truck or the SUV or whatever is in your business's name, then technically the assets of your business are now open
Okay.
from a
Yeah.
liability standpoint, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, I would advise titling it in a different LLC's name, just a separate LLC just for your vehicle. Okay.
Okay.
In terms of writing it off, it's going to be, it doesn't matter what title it's in. It doesn't matter what name it's in. From the IRS doesn't care about that. Okay. If it's being used for business, it's being used for business. So you will depreciate it through your business. Basically, you'll depreciate it on your federal tax return. Okay.
Okay.
Um, it doesn't matter what entity it's in. It really doesn't matter.
Okay.
So you'll be able to write it off slowly. I think right now it's 80% bonus depreciation, I think. So
Okay.
you should be able to deduct 80% of the cost of that vehicle on your income tax return.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. And I could do that if it's in my personal name too, correct? If that's my
Correct.
standard name
Yep, for sure.
transaction. Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Great. Um, Next question. Back to weight loss. Profit wise. So I keep my weight loss affordable, and that is what puts us at the top. I'm still
Good.
profiting about 100 to, well, in the beginning from, consultation and the initial bio and stuff, I'm profiting a large margin there in the beginning, so probably around 300. And then I'm always never profiting less than $100 a vial. So I do offer monthly membership pricing. I offer just straight out buy your vial pricing too. And then that's been very successful, far more than the membership pricing, actually, like the monthly. And so when people do that, And if I take into account, my nurse seeing them as a follow-up and then I pay her, $50 out of it, I'm still making the profit of at least $100 a vial. It's working. But then sometimes I'm thinking, should I be raising it? Is that enough profit? Um,
Well,
is yeah, your thoughts on that? Because
yeah.
I know a lot of people price gouge, but I don't
Well,
want, that's not my goal.
well, I think you know the answer to the question. You already answered it. You know, you said that what separates you from everyone else is that you have affordable pricing.
Yes.
So
I
if you,
100%, I know that's why.
yeah, if you change that, that kind of takes away your unique value proposition to the world,
Yeah. So
right?
leave as is and don't
Like,
overthink it.
right. You know, that'd be like with me with Elite MP. I'm going to charge $1,000 for every single course now. That's not going to work, you know?
Yeah.
Like we provide courses at a very affordable rate for this kind of knowledge. Like most places charge thousands of dollars for courses like this. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you know, we charge, I think, pretty reasonable rates for it, especially with the CE and stuff.
Yes.
So if I change that, it kind of gets rid of a part of my business, right? So that's the same thing for you. You only increase it when you need to.
Yeah, it's like when the pharmacies will out of nowhere jump and
Exactly.
increase. Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
right. Like at my men's health clinic, we had to increase the costs across the board by about $20 a month. We had to. I'm sorry. We just have
Mhm.
to. Like, we can't sit here and run an unprofitable business. It doesn't make any sense. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so increase the prices as you need to. Okay. I mean,
Mhm.
if you're still profiting $100 per patient, just about, that's pretty good, you know?
Okay. Yeah, that's what I just want to make sure. Like that's been my bottom line goal is to I want to at least make 100 off of the vial, and I feel like that sets me up well. Like I just want to make sure with you thought that that profit margin was enough. I mean, obviously it's working, but
Right, right. No, it's working, you know? Now, could you increase it a little bit? Sure.
yeah,
$5. No one's
yeah.
gonna, you
Okay.
know, no, yeah, no one's gonna care about $5, you know?
Uh,
So,
yeah,
but that extra $5, you multiply that by how many patients you have throughout the year, could be a lot of money.
you're right. And it's just a
Okay.
very small increase that they're gonna not even bat an eye at.
They're not
Mhm.
even gonna bat an eye on it. Exactly. So if you're going to increase your prices, you just slowly increase it
Okay.
over
All
time.
right.
$5 here, 12 months from now, $3, just a little bit here and there adds up real quick. Stay with the
Okay.
pace of inflation. Just call it 2 to 3% a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great idea,
Yeah.
actually. Good. Okay.
And I don't think anyone's going to really, you know, bat an eye at it. Now, if you
No.
come out the door, I'm gonna charge $50 extra, you just lost half your patients.
Yeah, no, no, no. I
Right.
don't wanna do that because yeah,
Right.
everything else in
Even
the world is way too expensive for everybody else anyways, so that I don't wanna lose people because I
you don't want to lose people. Exactly. And at the end of the day, you want to provide affordable service that people can afford, you know?
Mhm.
Like I know these practices that sell bottles of semaglutide for $1,000. I'm sorry, but those practice owners can get fucked. That's
That's
ridiculous.
insane. Yeah, that
You
has been
know,
insane.
you're just price gouging people. Like it's just ridiculous. This luxury pricing nonsense. I'm sorry. You're not offering a luxury product. Like, come
Mm.
on. You know, so yeah, don't be that kind of practice owner. I think they're sleaze bags. So
Yeah,
yeah, like offer an affordable service to people and exactly what's happening to you right now. You're going to grow super quick and it doesn't matter.
okay.
People are going to love
The
you.
other the other thing I don't do, and a lot of, weight loss clinics do, is weekly injections, bring people in weekly and do that. To me, that's a waste of manpower and,
100%.
time.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to get your feedback on that.
No,
No desire to do that.
yeah, you're completely on the right track there. Do not have patients come in for these injections. Come on, you're wasting so much time. And
Yeah.
it's
I mean, I spend an hour with them in the beginning and I have them inject on a sample vial and all the things. So I know they know
exactly
what they're doing.
right. A sub-Q shot is not rocket science.
Right. Right.
You know,
Yes.
like anyone can do that.
100%.
Yeah.
Second question. Well, in regards to the weight loss and the TRT charting templates, which I have gotten from your courses that I've purchased. And I know we always put a blurb in there about, it's enhancing your health. It's not FDA approved. You're deciding, making the decision to use these products. So, do you just have like a smart phrase that you just pop into every chart, whether it's weight loss or TRT? Because a lot of my weight loss is paper charting. I do have an EMR, and I do soap notes in that if I'm doing a televisit or TRT visits. But do I need that blurb in every weight loss patient too, you think, each time? Or just that first time I've had them sign the liabilities,
Nah,
that
just
you finally
nah,
provided?
I think just the first time's fine. I mean, you have them sign the consent, they understand. And then every follow-up, I would still document something like discuss risks and benefits, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, whatever. Just make it a macro and pop it in there.
Okay. Okay. Do you feel like that's more so important on the controlled, like TRT or the phentermine, as
Any,
opposed to just your GLPs,
it,
or just
it,
any and
it,
every chart?
anything off label.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything that's not considered FDA approved or anything that's a little off label, someone has a BMI of 29. Well, okay.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That's
mean,
good.
yeah, sure. They have a BMI of 29 and they're considered not eligible for, tirzepatide, but they're skinny fat. They still look like shit. They still feel like
Yeah.
shit. Like, come on.
It's right.
Right.
Right. Plus the other uses that
But exactly.
PCOS and all the other things that it's good for. But
Exactly.
um okay. I think that was, oh, I know what I want to touch on real quick because you've mentioned it many times and I was talking to my accountant about it. A SEP. So
Yeah.
I am an S Corp. I became an S Corp at the beginning of last year. So as far as I already have, retirement stuff, but you mentioned opening up something separate and being able to put about, 60,000 a year into that.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
is there, do you just go through your accountant and for that, or is
No.
there,
No.
okay.
No. It's super easy to set up. Okay. Do you have a brokerage account?
I do not.
Investing stocks or bonds or anything? No. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. Yes. Yes, I do.
yeah, like a brokerage account with like Charles
Yeah.
Schwab or Fidelity
Yes.
or
Yes.
whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you just go through that brokerage account, okay,
Okay.
and you select open new account. Usually they'll just tie it to like your main account. It'll all kind of be there. Like I know with like Charles Schwab, for example, all your accounts are listed under one login. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you just create a new account. Same thing with like Vanguard, T Ameritrade. They're basically all the same. Create new account, self-employed IRA. Okay.
Okay.
Just create it. You put your
Okay.
social security number, you click a button. Okay, congratulations, you now have a SEP IRA. Like takes 5 minutes. Okay. Um, that's pretty much
Perfect.
it. Yeah, like that's
Okay.
it. All right. You can
Uh-huh.
put in the max amount of 60 changes every year. It used to go, so it's like $65,000 now or something. Okay. You
Okay.
put $65,000 into that SEP IRA. Okay. 65 grand. That's tax
Mhm.
free. So it drops your taxable income by $65,000. How much money does that save you? Are you in the top? Well, I can tell you right now, you're in the top tax bracket. So say buy to 37% of your money. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that saves you 37% of $65,000. Like you're talking about, this was $80,000 that, basically that you had. So you put 65 grand in there, all right?
Mhm.
And it's basically just saved you $20,000 in taxes, right? So you put $65,000 in that SEP IRA. You do that every single year. Invest it into invest in some total stock index funds. Put it in a couple funds, call it a day. Don't really look at it. Let it sit there and grow. 10 years from now, when you turn, or 11 years from now, when you turn 59 and a half, open up that
Mhm.
account. You're like, oh, cool. There's $1 million in here.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now, your accountant will tell you how much you can put in there. It's a percentage of your income, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're pulling in $300,000-$400,000 a year, you will be able to put the max amount of $65,000 in there.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, and then that's literally it. You literally just deposit it from your business account into that account, invest it, set it, and forget it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like I very rarely ever look at my SEP IRA account. I put it into, I think I have it in 3 funds. Like I have it in VTI, Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, VTV, which is a value-based fund. That's a little bit recession resistant, so to speak. It doesn't really swing as much. Okay. And then I think I have it in like VOO, like the S&P Index Fund. That's it.
Sure.
Set in there, forget it. Split it between those 3. I'll just sit there and let it grow. I don't want that IRA producing cash for me. I don't want it to produce income for me. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Let it sit there and grow because you're going to need that money 10, 15, 20 years from now. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But your portfolio now, you have money. You're going to be developing money problems soon, if not already. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The hell are I
Right.
doing with all this money? You have no
Yeah.
debt.
Right.
How much do you need to live off of a month right now? A few $1,000, $5,000? Like,
That's about right. Yeah.
right? Like, how much money do you actually need to live off of? Like
Right.
$10,000 a month, you're probably living pretty damn good, right?
Oh, yeah. Right.
Right. You have a paid off house, you have paid off cars, like you don't have debt. So if $10,000 a month is $120,000 a year, right? So if you
Mm-hmm.
invest your money into a brokerage account, you can get that up to, $2.5 million, and you put it in some funds, some bonds, some various things that pay 5%. Congratulations, you now have your $10,000 a month passive
True.
for not doing anything, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's where you want to put in cash dividend paying funds is in your brokerage account, so you can actually use that money to live off of versus your IRA. So I know I kind of went off a
Okay.
little side trail there, but yeah.
Got it. Perfect. Okay. Um, Last question. And as far as paying yourself, I've read the book Profit First. It's still when you are ordering vials like $20,000 in vials a month, do you personally automatically pay yourself or believe you should pay yourself, 1% of what you profit every month, every week, or I guess trying to find that perfect.
I pull it out. I pull it out of the account monthly.
Okay.
Like for my
Yeah.
men's health clinic, I only leave $30,000 in that account. Everything else is pulled out.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So
So you
after
don't have like a set salary for yourself then.
well, with an S corp, yes, I do. I pay myself a certain amount of money every single month that's taxed like a W-2, right?
Okay. That's what I do
Like
now. Mhm.
correct. So then everything else after the salary should just be pulled out and thrown straight into your brokerage account.
Okay.
Okay. Only leave 3 months worth of expenses in in your business bank account. Okay. I leave about $30,000 in my men's health business account at all times. Okay.
Okay.
I pay myself $10,000 a month for my men's health clinic. Okay.
Okay.
Everything else at the end of the month, credit card bills are paid, rent's paid, utilities are paid, payroll is paid at the end of every single month. I look
Mhm.
at it. I'm like, okay, cool. I have $45,000 in this account. I'm going to pull 15 out. Now back to my 30,000. I pull the
Okay.
15 out, put my brokerage account, throw it in some index funds, etc. Let it grow, let it make money for me, right? Don't let money just sit in your account. It's stupid. And then rinse and repeat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's an owner's draw. You have to pay taxes on it later on. Okay. So
Yeah.
just, keep that in mind. But yeah.
Okay. Got it. Other than that, I think you've answered every single one of my questions.
Well, good.
It's pretty straightforward. I will tell you, first of all, thank you very much for all of your information. It's crazy. I remember the day that I just bought a class and I was like, I'm doing it. I'm tired of thinking about it. I'm just doing it. And from there, I just snowballed with other classes and I've just followed your model the entire time, listened to every podcast and, YouTube show. So much information and learning from other, business owners too. It's been amazing. So, and then your question and answer sessions you've been doing, those have been tremendous as well. So thank you very much for all the time that you put in, and
You,
giving us these resources. It's so much appreciated.
no, you're welcome. It's been a pleasure to help. I mean, seriously, at the end of the day, though, you know, I helped, but at the end of the day, you were the one who's doing it. You're the one who's putting the time into it. Like, seriously applaud yourself because what you've done is something that a lot of people uh, will never do in their life.
Mhm.
So you need to applaud yourself and not be too hard on yourself either, because like I said, what you've done is very, very unique just in the general population. Okay. Very, very few people will ever start a business. And then out of people who've started a business, very few of them will actually have a profitable business. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then, so yeah, you're automatically in a very select percentage of the population. And then as a nurse practitioner, you are probably in the top 5% of NPs in the country. Like you've done well for yourself. So, I've helped, but at the end of the day, applaud yourself because what you've done is pretty impressive. Like in a few years, you're approaching, $1 million a year in revenue practice. Like that's very impressive. So well done.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Um,
You're welcome. So so listen, I like to end the episode with you asking me a question. So you have a question for me, a question or a curiosity?
I do. So now that you are very involved in the lead MP and you've kind of changed your I guess course of direction in a way in helping others, do you miss clinical patient interaction? I know you still, do about 4 hours you said of patient televisits or whatever with your team, but do you miss any of that piece of it or do you really find that you enjoy doing exactly what you're doing right now?
Um, honestly, I really don't miss it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
To
I
be
didn't think
honest, yeah, I don't. I just accepted the fact that I don't think that I am. I'm not saying that I'm not a good clinician. I'm a very good clinician. Like when I see patients, they get thorough care, they get treated appropriately, etc. When I was working in the ER and urgent care, I've spotted some very rare things. I've saved a lot of people's lives, etc. But I don't miss it. I was stressed out all the time. Like, I'm one of those people who will go through every worst case scenario that's possible. And then I
Mhm.
will go home worrying about it, thinking about it. Oh, shit. Maybe I shouldn't have discharged an ER patient. Oh, shit. Did I miss this or that? Oh, God. It made me an unhappy, bitter person. It just did. And I can't help that. I just can't. That's just who I am. So
Yeah.
I don't miss it just because of that. It was making me miserable. It really was. And that's just not, you know, God bless people who can do it, that it doesn't let them bother them and who truly enjoy it. But I hate to say that at the end of the day, I really didn't. Um,
Yeah.
men's health now, men's health on the other hand, or medical cannabis, like the stuff that I've done niche clinic wise, I've
Uh-huh.
I've enjoyed. Okay.
Yes.
But
Yes.
like ER, primary care, urgent care, I no, no,
Yeah.
I
Mm,
can't do it.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
you. So,
And I've
yeah.
been doing it. I've been doing it for a lot. I mean, you've been doing it a lot longer than I have.
Uh-huh.
And I'm burnt out. I got burned out on it. The liability and just worrying about stuff and pain in the ass patients. I just got sick of it.
Yeah. 100%. And then somebody telling you what to do and when to be there. And that's, that's a whole nother. Ugh.
That's a whole nother thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, good question. I don't think I've been asked that one before. So, well,
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. This was great.
you are welcome. And I appreciate you hopping on here and hope this was helpful. And keep up to date. Shoot me an email if you have any questions or concerns.
I certainly will. Thanks a lot, Justin.
Cool. All right, no problem. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye.
I hope everyone enjoyed the episode with Misty. She's doing very, very well. This is a recurring theme. If you're not offering weight loss, you definitely should. It is a very, very profitable service. It makes for an excellent practice, and it is in such demand. So if you're not doing weight loss, seriously, you need to be thinking about doing some weight loss, okay? I don't know how many nurse practitioners that I've talked to at this point who have practices that are, approaching $1 million in revenue by doing weight loss. So it's profitable. And I think one big thing to take away from this is that focus in on what's profitable, okay? Don't go down rabbit holes. She wants to start focusing a lot on men's health and stuff, but it's like, listen, you're killing it doing weight loss. Double down on that. Don't get squirrel syndrome, focus in on what's working before you start other things. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing other things. There's nothing wrong with offering complementary services, okay? You should be if you want a robust, profitable practice, but make sure that you always stay focused in on what you provided that brings in the revenue and makes patients happy. I hope everyone enjoys this episode. Talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye. Thank you for listening to the show. Quick legal disclaimer. The content of this podcast is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be used as legal, financial, medical, regulatory, or practice-specific advice. For information pertaining to your specific legal, financial, medical, or practice-specific needs, please be sure to consult with your lawyer, CPA, medical director, and or your state's practice laws and the most up-to-date clinical guidelines. As always, do your due diligence when it comes to any information found online and in podcast. The content in this podcast is copyrighted by Galaxy Medical Southwest 2023 and cannot be duplicated, rebroadcasted, or reproduced without our written permission.